Yeah, good evening, class. Thank you so much for joining this class today. I want to thank God, Dakadosh Baruch, who has given us another opportunity to discuss about the mysteries of the Bible, the mysteries of the Torah. So, our topic today is going to be on decoding Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1 to verse 47, but we are going to be concentrating on verse 1 and verse 47. The verse talks about unclean and clean animals. So we need to decode what is really taking place. Like we said the previous weeks that when we were referring to Romans 7 verse 14, it says the law of God is meant, the law of God is only meant for the soul. The law of God is only meant for the spirit, for the soul. So it's not meant for the body. So now we just need to decode the unclean and clean or kosher animals alluded to on Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1 to 47, but dwelling on verse 1 and verse 47. But before that, I need to read a certain prayer that I read from Nachman of Gamzu. So, just dedicating these lectures, I'll read the prayer from Nachman of Pretzlov. He says, I call upon you, El Shaddai, which expresses mercy, piety, and splendor, and the knowledge of God, which Moshe Rabbeinu, our teacher, invoked at the Sea of the Reeds. The sea, we call it the Red Sea, but it's called the Sea of the Reeds. And he struck the sea, and Nashon, the son of Aminadab, descendant in the 5th generation of Judah or Yehuda, brother-in-law of Aaron, initiated by diving into the sea. I call upon you, El Chai, which expresses piety, and mercy, splendor, and knowledge of God, which again Moshe Rabbeinu invoked, in all the waters of the Sea of the Reeds closed and enveloped the Egyptians, and no one escaped except Pharaoh, because you wanted him to be king of Jericho after. I call upon you, Lord Zedereza, Adonai Melech, which Joshua invoked and stayed the course of the sun by the troops of angels who cease not to cry and sing day and night in the heavens. So that was just a small prayer that I read, and I got it from Nachman of Gamzu. So we are now going back into our topic, decoding the Bible, decoding Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1 and verse 47. It's very difficult interpretation of this verse in the book of Leviticus at large. Is very enigmatic. It's very incomprehensible. But this is not my idea. I got it from our great scholars in antiquity, the likes of Philo of Alexandria, the likes of Oregon, the likes of Clement of Alexandria, and from the letters of Astria, the letter of Aristia, and the letter of Barnabas. So that's where this information is coming from. It's not my information. So we just need to decode that verse using these, ancient scholars, our ancestors in the academic fraternity. So ndo wathange tichibetsegwa nawo. So this verse talks about clean and unclean animals. So these are regulations concerning animals, birds, and every living thing that moves about in water, and every creature that moves along the ground. So the idea here is to distinguish between the unclean and clean, between living creatures that may be eaten and those that may not be eaten. it is very astonishing how Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, this is where Moses, our teacher, understood the different natures of animals. He learned this from the divine knowledge, about which, some of these animals from the Mosaic, or from the book of Ascension, when Moses went up Mount Sinai, where he got the laws of God, the 10 Commandments. So in the writings of Moshe after the Sinai encounter with God, animals like wolves, where wolves resembles demons, wolves, foxes, snakes, eagles. When Moses descended Mount Sinai, he wrote about wolves, but in the Torah, wolves, snakes, eagles, and he said they must not be eaten; they are not edible. Then we discover that each demon is something in common. Each demon, if you read this book called The World of Genies, this book, The World of Genies, meaning the world of demons, you then discover that each demon in this book, we are going some time to learn about the demons and how to run away from them and how to charge on them by calling their names. If you know their names, then it becomes easier. So each demon written in that book is something in common with one of these animals: the foxes, the snakes, the eagles, the animals that I prohibited in Leviticus 11. So the concept and idea of demonic forces taking animal forms was previously mentioned in 1 Enoch, in the Enochite books. And a similar tradition is expressed in the story of Jesus exorcising the demons, and the demons went into a legion, and the demons from legion went into the swine, and the swine went into the sea. So those are some of the examples. So we'll be studying around. So but our we are referring very much to the letter of Aristias and the letter of Barnabas. So and Aristias is a Hellenistic work on the 3rd century and the 2nd century BC, but some scholars think it was written by Josephus, the Jewish historian of all the time. Then he said that the laws of animal impurity are just codes. They are just codes. Coded in a language for regulating human activity. But more importantly, allegorical interpretation of Aristias does not imply a refusal of one literal law. Meaning to say, although they are codes, we still bound by those Levitical dietary laws. Because I said in my introduction, when Moses descended Mount Sinai, he had a list of clean and a list of unclean animals in the Torah, 5 books of Moshe. So, and the unclean animals, according to the ascension of Moses, the unclean animals resemble or demons, the demonic life. So that's what we're going to learn today. So in the epistle of Barnabas, Bar-Abbas means son of the father, Moses was found saying, "You shall not eat the pig, the eagle, the vulture, the raven, or any fish which does not have scales." Most meant that don't bind yourself. The meaning now, what it meant. The Torah, the Bible is written for the soul. Bible about the soul and the spirit. So what is, and I've said these are just codes. I know what my codes. So we are going to decode the meaning. And here Moses is saying, don't bind yourself or be similar to humans who are like those animals mentioned, like the eagle, like the vulture, like the pig. Don't be like those animals. Don't be like those animals mentioned in the Torah, who don't know how to supply themselves through toils and sweat. The eagle must not be eaten, because the eagle does not toil, does not work. It's a voucher. Mira some carcass, that one is zvimwe. So we have such people in a society who don't want to work, who are eagles, who are vouchers. They wait for others to catch their prey, and they come and devour that carcass. They come and devour that prey. We have such people in our localities who are very lazy, who are like vultures, who are like hyenas. A hyena is not eaten, because a hyena is lazy, it cannot hunt. A hyena waits for a lion to catch a buffalo. When a lion catches a buffalo, a pride of hyenas will come. A pride of hungry hyenas will come and scare and threaten the lion. And the lion runs away. And they start to eat the flesh. But they don't catch the prey. So such people, so Moses is talking about, we have such people in our societies who are like, we are low, they call them people who doesn't have a law. They just wait for others to wake, and they will be sleeping, and they just jump and devour what other people have worked. So they prowl around looking for something to plunder due to greediness. So Moses it was written in codes. So we're just trying to decode what it meant. An eagle. Eagle, you find them on treetops. They are waiting for a mouse. They just grab. They don't work. They are lazy, and there are such people. We must be mindful of such people. It can be the government. It can be the government. They prowl on people. People just take away people's monies. They are robbers. They steal. They don't work. They just wait to rob you. Some of them are called conmen. A conman is like an eagle. They wait at the corner. They jump, they rob, they kill. Like a lion. That's why they are not eaten. That's why they are unkosher. That's why they are unclean. Because of their characteristic of wanting to pounce, of wanting to rob. We have such people. So he also said, don't eat the octopus or the cuttlefish. Meaning you do not bind yourself to such people that are impious. They are unholy. They are unholy. They sentence people to death. Like I've said, the hyena is prohibited. Because when a lion catches a buffalo, a pride of them, they come. When someone has bought his car, very good car, witches come. They come during the night. They are hyenas. They want to eat one thing that they didn't work for. So Moses is talking about the hyenas. He's talking about people who are like that, who are predators. They just wait to devour things that did not work for. They have energy to prowl. So that is what Moses is saying in Leviticus 11, verse 1 in verse 49. Be very careful of such people in the society. And Moses saying, don't even try to relate to them. So don't eat the hair. Why is the hair prohibited to be eaten? Don't become the member of the hair. Or they are called pederasts, child molesters. A man who is sexual, unsatiable desire for sex is like a hair. Don't play with such people. It's the spirit that they have, which the Bible prohibits. So if someone is eating hair, is eating, a hyena, whatever, it's the spirit those animals have got. But we did not write the Bible. Most did not write the Bible. It was God who created those animals. So the hair is prohibited because of its insatiable desire for sex. It wants to mount almost every time. That's in his mind. That's why it's prohibited. This commentary is from the late of Aristia, which you can look for. Also, don't eat the hyena. I've said it several times. Meaning, there are people who steal what they've not gathered. Like the sexual activity of the hyena is not allowed. According to the Greco-Roman historians of antiquity, a hyena is a male in winter and a female in summer. It changes. It changes its gender, it changes its sex. In winter, it's this male hyena. It changes. This according to the Greco-Roman historians. They are known for their notorious, excessive sexuality. So a hyena is known as a symbol of impure human nature. So no, a hyena is not needed. It's prohibited. And a Clement of Alexandria claimed that Moses prohibited the hyena because of his sexual behavior. Leviticus 29 verse 11 verse 29, it says, and the weasel, gonzo, the weasel, because they commit lawless with their mouth. The weasel, gonzo. With people like that in the society who are like a weasel, what do? They are lawless with their mouth. No manga rofuridza. What level of faith is that? Kuruma, lawless. The weasel is prohibited. And that's why the Bible says, there are such people who play around with you, who are like your friends in the afternoon. When they go there, they dig deeper holes. There are such people. So that's why the Bible says, don't play with a weasel. We have such people. So that's why we're trying to decode what is meant by Leviticus 11, chapter 11, verse 29. So, but Moses, before him, there was David. After Moses, there was David. So he had the same idea. He had the same emphasis to say, don't play with animals. Don't eat unclean animals. Don't eat unclean. There are clean animals and unclean animals. Clean animals are righteous people. You see them by the way they speak. You see them by the way they talk. You cannot play with a nachash, with a snake, with a viper. A viper is venom. That's why it's prohibited. It's venom. When they open their mouths to speak, it's venomous. It's venomous. Don't play with snake. Don't play with a snakash. So even Paul, it talks about in Philippians 3 verse 2. Paul says, beware of dogs. Why dogs? Because in Kabbalah, dogs, we often dogs, hyenas, in fact, all predators in Kabbalah, in the interpretation of the Kabbalah. Kabbalah meaning revealed. Dogs were associated with the demonic powers. Dogs, demonic powers. So what can we learn from a dog? What can a dog sense from smelling your couch? Now, and I grew up in the villages. I think this, what I'm saying now, from the villages where I grew up. I used to see it happening in most often than not. If we had a visitor, a visitor, you see dogs barking, how, how. The dogs only listen to the owner. They will not listen to anyone. You say, forsake. That's when they keep quiet. That's when they close their barking. But even if you say, stop, don't do that to the dogs when they are barking at a visitor. What will happen is that they'll stop barking, but I've noticed that several times, and this is a research. There's a research that was done by some researchers here at the university here in America about why dogs crouch on visitors' private parts. It sniffs, it whiffs on the private parts of a visitor. So private parts, and one wonders what. So that's why Paul said, beware of dogs. It's because some human crouches are more likely to attract a dog. Private parts, and it's very interesting. So in this lesson about a dog, in what is the dog doing? I've said the Kabbalah talks about dogs as demons. So the dogs, they smell your crotch. They sniff your crotch, your private part. Why are they sniffing? They are looking for those people who have recently had sexual intercourse. It's written. This is not me. It's they are looking for, because these are demons. Dogs, they are demons, like in the Kabbalah. So they search for those people who have committed sexual intercourse, all those who are on menstrual cycle, all those who have recently given birth. It's in them. Remember, all these will pick a dog's interest. A dog is interested in those. Now, if you are unlucky, the luck is that you, the owner of the dogs, but because they've committed adultery, they'll bite you, they'll devour you. The same applies. The same concept works with the demoniac world. Once a person commits adultery, they can smell. The demons, like dogs, can smell. They can sniff. They can whiff. And when they discover that you've done it, they are now the fortunate part is when you are related to God, suppose you have committed that sin, but you are related to God, you can say, God, I'm sorry, you know. Then the owner of the dog say, yeah, don't do that. Otherwise, if you don't do that, dogs will devour you. So it's very important that both the dogs, yes, the ability to smell pheromones. You know, pheromones, the smell that a human being produces when they've committed adultery. So the dogs have the capability to smell pheromones. So it means they may be able to tell whether a woman is on menstrual cycle, whether a person is committed adultery, and they can devour. So we must be in a good, kind relationship. We must be closer to God, so that when these demons come to devour us, they know that we are related to God. That's why I've said, if he is not there, let me tell you something. At a farm, there may be dogs, there are sheep, there are cattle, there are goats there. The farmer uses those animals for different reasons. And the dogs only hear the voice of the farmer. And in my case, the farmer is God. And remember, the dog's nose is a powerful tool. Dogs have up to 300 million sensors in their nose compared to humans. Because we have only 6 million. This is a research. So this means that their sense of smell is 10,000 times greater than ours. The sense of smell of demons, they are 10,000 times greater than ours. So when a person commits a sin in Honolulu or in the Java province, the demon is attracted to that, to you in the Java province, because they have 10,000. They are 10,000 times greater in terms of smelling power as compared to us. So this was said by Michael T. Napier. In case some would want to say that's serious, it's a research by Michael T. Napier at the Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine. So dogs can detect the equivalent of half a teaspoon. Dogs can detect. I'm talking about dogs. I said we need to decode Leviticus 11. So dogs, they can decode. Dogs can detect the equivalent of half a teaspoon of sugar in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Imbra, kuziva kuti detect sugar in swimming pool, Olympic size. So because they have a special organ specifically dedicated to processing smells called the Jacobson organ. The dogs in the Jacobson organ, they detect smell. But usually they detect, most dogs are demons. So we are only attacked by them, the demons, when we commit sins and we are not closer to the owner. Some people would say, why should the owner of demons? No, it's written in the Bible that when kana Saul akabatwa na moyo ukaipa, when Saul was possessed by evil spirits, God would send King David, before he was king, to play a harp, and the spirit was going to be exorcised. So what it means is, so the Bible says, and Saul was attacked by the spirit, the evil spirit that was sent by God. You see? So evil spirit, a demon that was sent by God. So demons, they only, even Jesus, if you fear God, you are not the only people who fear God. Even demons, they fear God, but they fear with trembling. So demons, they know God. That's the reason why the sons of Sceva in Acts, the sons of Sceva was a Jewish priest, and the sons of Sceva, they were moving around the villages, exorcising demons. And the Pokaskapa, this demon called Demetria, they say, we chase you, we exorcise you in the name of Paul and Barnabas and Silas and Apollos. And the demons love to say, who are you? Wait, Paul. You exorcise demons in the name of Paul and Yeshua. Yeshua meaning Jesus. And they said, yes, the sons of Sceva. And the demon says, Paul, we know Paul. We know Yeshua. We also know Apollos. You guys, you don't believe in God. So these demons, they know that we are not connected to God. And there is a fallacy, there's a lie that goes around in the world. That is a lie, proven by books, proven by research. The lie says, some people think that when they're attacked by demons, or when they are possessed by demons, any prophet will exorcise the demon. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's not in any way. The only person who is capable of exorcising the demons is you exercising righteousness. It's you. When you don't exercise righteousness, any person will not, because for a person to be attacked by a demon, you will be habitable. You will be a place that is habitable to demons. You'll be like a nest, a dendere, where demons would like to have, like a house of the demons. So that's why Jesus says in the Bible, when an evil spirit comes out of a man, it goes around the world to hire some evil spirits that are more powerful than the first one. And they'll come and reside in that same house. And the impiety, so a person must be righteous. We need not to lie to the people. We need to be righteous. So if we are righteous, we give no room for the demons to come to us. Like I've said, a dog is 10,000 times more powerful in terms of sensing. And usually dogs, when they are smelling, they smell at the crotch, at the private parts, to see whether this person is not committed adultery. And so when you've committed adultery, they start to eat you, they start to bite you. Lucky the owner will be around. If you are unfortunate that the owner of the dog is not there, you'll be kept. So what is it that we should do as humanity is to stay away from sinning in life, so that these demons are not attracted. These demons are attracted to us by what we do. You see? So what we do, these carnivorous, animals, the Bible talks about beasts. So that's why when I introduced, I was saying we need to decode what is, because now people can say, don't eat a donkey. There are no more donkeys. Don't eat a hare. There are no hares in America. Don't eat an eagle. No what about to say. So the Bible becomes irrelevant. It becomes irrelevant when it talks about an eagle. Where are eagles now? And yet eagles are the people who rob our money. Eagles are conmen who rob our money. Hyenas are witches. You see, any person who is negative, a weasel, a raven, they eat things that they did work for. People who hate the truth. The Bible is talking about people, not about those animals. They are no longer there. Those animals. There's no ego. An ego. What can it do now? What can a voucher do now? But with vouchers in our society, corrupt leaders in our society, they are vouchers. They rob they rob our future. They register our pockets. They kill the people's future. People have no future. They are called vouchers. leaders of our society, government leaders. So we have hyenas, we have dogs. They prostitute everywhere it goes, everywhere she goes. That's why they call the dogs called a bitch. So God is not talking about a dog, a real dog. He's talking about human beings. And Paul is saying, beware of dogs. Why dogs? Why dogs? Because when a dog opens her mouth or his mouth to say something, how? Even if the dog is leashed on a tree, even it's tied on a tree, what comes out of her mouth is fearsome. So I'll finish with a story that was told by, it's a very interesting story in the Torah, where a goat and a kid, a kid is a young one of a goat. A goat is a mother, and a kid is a baby of the goat. So they were grazing. So it happened that they saw dogs. The mother goat and the baby. They saw dogs coming. Then the goat started to run. And the baby asked the mother, the young goat, the kid, the baby said, "Mother, why are we running away?" The mother said, "What should we do?" The kid said, "But you have horns. You have horns, 2 horns plus ears. Why don't we just stop and fight the dog? Because you have horns. You can go. Cool. The dog, and we are safe because you can use your horns. Why are you running away? You have horns and you have ears so far, but the dog has got 2 ears. But you are running away." And the mother goat said to the baby, "That's what I want. It's not about the horns that I have or the ears that the dog has got. It's about the barking. It's about the sound of the dog that comes out of his or her mouth when she barks at me. When she says, 'How, how, how,' already I'll fall down. Already my legs will be taking me to a certain distance, to a certain direction. I'll simply run away because I can't withstand the barking of the dog. Because the dog roars with the ferocity of a lion. So I can't withstand that. We can run away. So that's why Paul is saying, run away. Philippians 3 verse 2, run away from dogs. Why from dogs? Why does the Bible use dogs? It's not referring to a dog that runs on the road. We have people like that in our society. People who eat what they did not sow. People who we know what dogs do. So that is our discourse today, and about animals, and about Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1 and verse 47. The Bible is not talking about any animal there. It's talking about people that we live with in our societies, who are vultures, who are eagles, who are lions. You see them crouching on the ground as if they are happy about you, yet they want to pounce, they want to eat. We play with them, or we converse with them, but they have different ulterior motives. They don't want you to grow. They hate. So, in conclusion, I can say every human has some sort of food in themselves. Be very careful, which they offer to those that come near them. Since it is impossible for us humans to approach each other and join in conversation without giving or taking some taste or some food for other people, you need to be very careful. Because Luke chapter 6 verse 45 says, out of the good treasure of the heart produces some good food to their neighbor. But if they are evil, they produce evil or impure food to their neighbors. So all those who are innocent and all those who are righteous are called animals who can chew the cud, are called animals who have separate hooves. Those animals, the righteous animals who can separate who can chew the cud, who have 4 stomachs, they can digest, people who can digest their cud. Those are the people we need to ask advice from. Any other unclean are deceitful people. Unclean are people who have impure thoughts on us. They smile at us like a dog smiling at you, as if he's happy, and if you just, if you before you know it, the calf is taken away. So we have such animals. That's what the Bible is talking about. And lastly, the still on these animals, according to Oregon. I'm saying according to Oregon, according to Alexandria, according to Philo of Alexandria, according to the letter of Aristria, according to the letter of Barnabas, these animals should not be eaten. But it's about the spirit. It's about the spirit in those animals. So the most lastly, the law of metonymic. So the law of metonymic. It says, you are what you eat. So thank you so much for joining this class. I was just trying to decode what Leviticus 11 and Leviticus 11 verse 1 and verse 47, what they are saying, what Moshe and other scholars are saying about unclean, about kosher and unkosher animals. And it says on Leviticus 11 that again, musabika mbudzana mukaka wa mai vayo, musabika mbudzana a kid of a goat. Musabika, don't cook the meat of a kid with the milk that has been taken from your mother. Meaning to say, someone can, that's what the Torah says. How can someone marry someone's daughter? How can you marry someone's daughter and have that daughter take your money and pay lobola to her parents? How is that possible? No, that's the Torah. What Torah will the kid from your mother to stay with. Then the wife, Otora Maria, Shanda, and we call that marriage. So that's what is hidden in the scriptures. That's what is hidden in the Torah. This is esoteric knowledge. So we're just decoding. We're just unraveling the truth. Like I've said, when truth comes, Ptolemy Philadelphus, when he discovered the truth, Ptolemy Philadelphus too, when he discovered the truth, he exchanged 100,000 prisoners to get the Torah of truth. 100,000 prisoners to get one Torah of truth. And he said, with this truth, with this book, the Torah of truth, all lies will vanish. So that's why the Shlomo Amelech, he says in the Bible, tenga zokwadi, usai tengesas, buy the truth and don't sell it. Knowledge is very important. Knowledge is very important. With knowledge, your eyes can be opened. Eyes can just see things that has been put into the repository of knowledge. Maziso anongoverenga anongoziva zvakaverengwa. If you don't know Ndebele, eyes can see and you cannot interpret. But when you know Ndebele, the eyes can see, then they cause you to interpret, or interpretation comes when you have knowledge. So that's what we are talking about today, about unclean and clean animals, kosher and kosher animals. It refers to people that we live with in the society. Beware, be careful, beware of dogs, be careful of scavengers, be careful of vultures. They are very cunning. You will never notice. They are very cunning. They are tricksters. Like here in our primary books. They are like those, and it's difficult for you to see. But with knowledge, you can see that this is a vulture, this is an eagle, this is a hyena, this is a lion. You can so the literature now can you can see conspicuously clear. So thank you guys for coming to this lecture about clean and unclean animals. In the mighty name of Hashem Yisborach. Amen, amen, amen.